Dan's
No. We talking about Emmer Rye, son.
Okay.
Get it. We got a very special guest in the building.
Hey.
I hope I get your name right because I know everybody messes mine up. So if please forgive me because this brother's 6'18". If I don't get his name right, I ain't what he gonna do.
You on your own too.
Hey man, Tavel, Bristol, Joseph of Kanye.
Kanji.
I messed it up. Okay. Kanji
In the building.
Kanji.
Yeah,
All right.
I've heard that name before. People say Kanye.
Yeah.
But we on the east side, so they were like, "Oh, if you were on the west side, it'd be Kanye West."
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right, tell us a little bit about yourself, my man.
So I'm a chef, born and raised in Georgetown, Guyana. I moved to Texas about 10 years ago. Me and my business partners, we opened up Emmer Rye. And now we're up to about 12 restaurants between Austin and San Antonio.
Nice.
That includes Este, our Michelin one-star restaurant.
Okay.
Azov, Kanji, Calimocho, Ladino. We have Fife and Faro. The list keeps going, man.
Wow. Congratulations on
that, man. We got Mesquite, we got Isidore, we got Nicosi, we got Pullman Market. So we're just, trying to feed the nation. That's it.
Amen to that, brother. 12 restaurants. I cannot imagine. I mean, most people, when they go into a restaurant, they go in, they sit down, they get the service, they eat, they socialize, and then, they pay the bill and they jet. But there's got to be, when you think about it, like really think about it, there's got to be so much going on to make sure that every single person gets the right service, the right food is delivered right, on time, and they get all of that stuff. Man, that has got one restaurant I can imagine would drive a person bananas. 12 restaurants has got to be. You got to be an octopus, bro.
Yeah. Well, we got a strong team.
Yeah,
we got a strong team.
When it comes to that, speaking of the amount, Emmer Rye has made such an impact on Austin's food scene.
Yeah.
What's your vision for the restaurant group since you listed them, and how do you ensure each concept stands out while maintaining a unified identity?
Right. Good question. For us, it's about, at the end of the day, Austin, you can throw a rock to good food.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But it is more about the experience that you're going to receive. And the number one thing in business is you find where there's a gap and you try to fill it.
Okay.
So where there's a need because none of our concepts are the same.
Right.
There was a need for every concept, and that's why we filled that. So when we came, we realized that there was a need for a true farm-to-table restaurant where we're going to the farmers and saying, hey, what do you grow well here? Whatever you grow, I make my menu based on that. Right? So you're truly supporting what's seasonal, what's local. And that restaurant, we earned a green Michelin star for that one.
Hey, congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you. And they've only given out 34 of those ever.
Flex.
Right?
What?
Flex.
So it's 90% of what comes on that plate is from Texas.
Yeah.
And that's what makes that spot really special. And then we moved on to Hestia, which was like live fire cooking. We realized that, we wanted to take it back to basic where there's no gas in that restaurant. Everything is truly focused on what comes off of a 20-foot hearth.
Okay.
And that one, we got a Michelin star for that one. Nice. And then we got Kanji, which was Caribbean. It's my culture. It's my heritage. It's my identity in a sense.
Yeah.
I felt in Austin when I moved here 10 years ago, there was one food truck that was a Caribbean spot.
Okay.
And you can't, how do you show people your culture eating out of a paper?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A styrofoam.
Right.
Like, we deserve more than that.
Yeah.
Right.
So Kanji was created based on the fact that there was this gap of true Caribbean hospitality and food to match in the city. And that's where we came out with it.
So I go into Kanji, and what's going to be different when I go there opposed to somewhere else that I would go? And this is what also, just to add on to this question, what's going to give me what you could describe as the flavor or the essence of the hospitality of the Caribbean?
Yeah, well, as soon as you walk in, one, there's the music is loud.
Okay.
The energy is heavy,
Okay.
right? The walls, the photos, it's colorful.
It's a carnival.
It's welcome, right? It's welcome. That's the vibe.
Yeah.
But I think what makes Kanji different from all other Caribbean spots is Kanji is a representation of all Caribbean food stemming from Puerto Rico to mainland Guyana.
Okay.
And most spots, it's like there's a Trinidadian restaurant, there's a Jamaican restaurant. We're focused on food that you can get food from St. Kitts, you can get food from Trinidad, you can get food from Dominica. We go all across, and we are able to kind of Haiti. We're able to kind of tell true stories. We're not just using Caribbean flavors, but we're actually bringing dishes that some may not heard of, like pepper pot, which is the national dish of Guyana, where we're using wild boar, which is an invasive species here in Texas.
Yeah.
We're able to utilize that and make a dish that truly represents a country and put that in front of you, which I think is really special. And we've definitely won a couple of awards. New York Times top 5 restaurants, Bon Appetit, Food and Wine. We've done a lot of really cool stuff to big up Caribbean food, but most importantly, big up the city of Austin.
He just lost appearance. What Peppa Pig? He said Peppa Pot. They out here. He cooking up Peppa Pig.
Close too.
Yeah, he
Really
getting Peppa Pot. He cooking all the kids crying now. They crying right now
No,
out there.
Mama, you can't go there. No, you got to go there. You got to go. New York showed you some love too. One of the best restaurants of 2022.
Yeah.
That's
Sweet.
recent. We're talking about recency. Look at this.
Yes,
here.
sir.
Wow.
As someone who's achieved so much in the culinary world, how do you balance the pressures of running multiple successful restaurants while maintaining a personal connection to your team and customers?
Yeah, well, you know, this is a hospitality business. You got to love people, right? That it starts there. And then the other thing is you have to trust people. And be able to, that's the only way you're able to move forward, because you can't do it by yourself.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed that I'm able to seek out great talent, most importantly, great people. And having them on our team, we're able to spread our wings and do things that we're truly passionate about as leaders of the organization. And then we have amazing talent that maintains and keep things going. Because it wasn't easy putting a Caribbean restaurant and putting people that has never cooked in a Caribbean restaurant, including myself, to on this level. They have to have a lot of storytelling. And a lot of trust to carry on and showcase a culture that most people have not experienced.
That's so cool. I mean, you take something that is, I think it's, as we'll say, novel concept as a restaurant, right? But then people don't realize that those dishes, the name, we were just talking about the Peppa Pig and all that. These names mean something. That a lot of times we take it kind of for granted. We say, oh, this name, but for you to be able to tell the story behind the dish, the way it's served, it sounds like there's some attention there to detail. That's very immersive when it comes to a culture or an experience. And I think that a lot of restaurants now, they look just at the dish, but they don't think about the walls. They don't think about the music. I went to you guys' Instagram, and literally the first words are, the music is loud.
Oh, 100%.
And that is, I know that for us in black culture, American culture, we are starting to look at experiential stuff. I went to Dallas a few months back, and we were doing a brunch spot, and the music was loud, and it was a different experience. But I would have rather went to that for that moment because it was an event. It's not something I would do all the time, but it was definitely an event. And I know I go to some place and it's dead quiet in there, and it's almost like it feels dead. It doesn't feel like any life there.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was intentional.
It sounds like
for a couple of reasons. One, if you understand people and how we operate, if we go into a space that we know, we almost start to judge before anything happens, right?
Yeah.
Because we're so comfortable in the space.
Right.
But if I put you in a space where The music is a little bit loud. The server is more bold and unapologetic.
Yeah.
The colors around you are brighter. Than anything you taste, because all of a sudden you become submissive to the space.
Yes.
Right?
I like that.
So everything you taste gets better.
Yeah.
Because you're now here and along for the ride for this experience.
Yeah.
And that's why when you walk into a doctor's office, it looks the way it looks.
Yeah.
That's why when you go into an elevator, the music is the
Very
level
subdued.
that it is.
Yeah.
Everything has intention behind it if you pay attention to it.
We're traveling. We traveling, y'all. You might not be able to go to the Caribbean, but if you go to Kanji, you're gonna be there.
100%.
That's what it sounds like.
So you say kanji, I say Nkosi.
Okay.
Can you tell us more about Nkosi and what makes it such a unique experience in San Antonio's dining scene?
Yeah. So Nkosi, first of all, Nkosi is my middle name.
Okay.
And Nkosi
That was number
is
net right there.
Nkosi is a dessert bar that is essentially it's a dessert tasting menu through the lens of a pastry chef. Because I'm a pastry chef by trade.
Okay.
So we open up this space. It's a tasting menu. 8 courses. We focus on acid, umami, bitter, and sweet. Which is essentially the same way we eat. You go to a restaurant, you get a salad, that's your acidic. You probably gonna get pasta, that's umami.
Okay.
If you get a grilled steak or chicken, it's grilled, so it's burnt, that's your bitter.
Okay.
And then you finish with something sweet. So it's taking you on the same journey, but it all desserts. So it's not pressuring your palate with so much sugar where you walk out of there on a sugar high. We are really using natural ingredients and pulling. So like, how do we get sugar out of a lemon? And how do we burn something where it's caramelized just perfect that all the sugars come out and you're still tasting some bitter notes in there, like the top of a creme brulee, for example, right? So it is really taking you on that journey, and it's wine pairings or cocktail pairings that go with it. It's a fully immersive experience. No phones, no menus.
Leave them phones out.
Chef is walking you through every single thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's because I wanted a space in where, you know, people are carrying the trauma from the past or the anxiety of the future. And in our societies, it's not too many people being present.
Yep.
So if I can create a space where you have no choice but to be present, where food is not about transaction, it's something of deeper meaning. So you're sitting down, focused on an experience. I think that helps us mentally.
Yeah, it's a break.
Yeah.
It's a break. And
Right.
We need a break before we break, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's a break.
Yeah.
That you go, and it used to be like
sir.
that before these cell phones became everything to us.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
would just
yeah.
go in there, and we were eating, we were talking. You needed something, you talk to the person that's working directly. You're not over here using a QR code and all. I'm still weirded out by that. I'm like, I want to talk to a person because I have questions.
Yes.
Right,
Hey,
right.
what comes on this? And being able to talk directly set to the chef.
Yeah.
You get to ask questions, or they just say, "Hey, just taste it."
Yeah, they're exactly. They're talking through the entire dish, talking through the story, the why are you having this dish, and then while you're enjoying it, you're watching the show because it's 20 seats.
Oh, this
so
is fun.
you're just sitting down at this bar set up, watching these chefs do their magic. You're behind the curtains. You see everything, and the reason why I named it Nkosi is because desserts is a very optional thing. Like, you go to a restaurant, you get entrees, and you're like, man, I'm full. I'm good on dessert. Or I gotta leave. I'm good. So it's very optional. And I feel like that's the same thing with your middle name. Most people don't know each other's middle name because it's very optional for you to say it.
Right.
So if I can put two things that are optional and make it the mainstay, then now we're talking about something of deeper meaning again.
And something that wasn't normally
Killing
taken.
it.
Where you're once
Exactly.
again fulfilling it. You're not even filling needs at some points. You're just finding gaps.
Yeah.
And you're just
Yeah.
filling gaps that the average person doesn't realize that they don't always use their middle name.
Right.
And
right,
or that
right.
they don't focus in on dessert. And you're like, nobody was in that market to begin with.
Right.
You literally created your own market.
This brother is a chef playing mind games with your stomach.
You heard what he said about the loud music?
Like he know. Like I feel like he's forcing us to do things that we don't even know we're being forced. And he's like, this is brilliant.
Creating our own construct.
I'm curious here. You've worked with incredible chefs like Kevin Fink. What's one of the most important things you've learned from collaborating with other talented chefs throughout your career?
That you don't know everything, and that it's. I mean, Kevin is my business partner, and we started Emmer Rye Hospitality together. Okay. And the mind that he has for business, combined with the creative mind that I have, and the understanding of how people work, we're able to create concepts that truly hits a different emotion inside of you. And also we the easy part for us is making delicious food. We are very comfortable in that space. Now it's how do we create an experience that is memorable and that's also shareable. Very important.
I like it.
Very much so. Very much so.
We've been talking about, like, our theme right now for the day has been about sharing. We talked to KT earlier, we're interviewing them, have an event coming up, and we were talking about sitting down and sharing music. And now here we are talking about sharing and fellowship when it comes to food and the experience that you're experiencing in that moment, which I think I'm 39, so I'm growing.
Youngin'.
And thank you. Look, I'll say thank you for as long as I can. Because the concept of traveling has changed for me. It used to be I want to travel somewhere by myself. Probably up until maybe 2 years ago, I was a solo guy. I want to do this by myself, comic, whatever. But now I'm like, how can I do something that my friends would want to go do as well?
Right.
And so now the concept of traveling to places and not having to call my friends and tell them about what I'm doing, but we're all living it right then and there. And I feel like you're building that, and not building, you've built, because you got 12 of them, you've built those experiences into your concepts. Like you said, concepts, not restaurants.
Yeah. And also, I'm glad that you say that because, what for us, this beautiful life that we're living, what makes it better is 10 years from now, you're sitting around people that you built with. Yes. That's, to me, is what the ultimate success is. Yes, is when you're able to empower others, but more importantly, look around when you've done all this work. Like, I wouldn't want to own as many restaurants that we own if I wasn't around the people that I'm around. It makes no sense for me to just do it. I would prefer to share that with my people, and we all just kind of look back and laugh and tell jokes about how hard it was and that we made it.
But before you go, I can't have a brother from Guyana in here and we don't talk about it. Can you tell people about the Mashramani Festival? Because some people may not know. I got a fraternity brother that put me on. I ain't never been, but tell us a little bit about that festival.
Yeah, so Mashramani is Guyana's carnival. And it's a Indian Amerindian word for celebration. So it's essentially people put on their costume, they hit the streets, music, drinks, food, and it's a true celebration. That is our carnival. We live for Mashramani. We talk about music, bands playing. It's like a whole weekend of just craziness.
Bruh.
This is another carnival.
You see what I'm saying? And English is the official language, so we ain't got to go to Brazil. We could go to Mashramani. We can go.
Yeah, Guyana is the only English-speaking country on the South American continent.
Thank you. You see that?
Yeah, we were ruled by the British.
This the one to go. This the one to go to.
Yeah, it's a turn up.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Do you have something online where people can find like all your whole restaurant groups?
Yeah, Emmer Rye Hospitality.
Okay.
So that's www.emmerrye.hospitality, and then we have we're on Instagram, Emmer Rye Hospitality, and all the restaurants are connected to that, so you can tap in, or you can follow me on Instagram, Tavel 19, TAVEL 19, and we got all the restaurants on there too.
I'm on Instagram just liking it.
You got it. Yeah. I'm gonna get on this.
If you got a stalker, it's this guy.
Early bar, he said it's afternoon. And I'm like, how early do some of these restaurants open? I am hungry.
Yeah, only dinner. We only do dinner.
Only do dinner. No lunch.
No lunch.
No brunch.
Lunch in San Antonio. No lunch in Austin.
Okay. All right. You hear that, San Antonio? Y'all getting lunch before we do.
And call your travel agents because y'all got to go to Georgetown, Guyana. One of the world's longest floating bridges is there.
Yeah.
Really?
Right. In the world.
Wow.
Right there. So you can get that culture. You can go out there and you can find a little bit about one of the wonders of the world.
Yeah, there's another wonder that a lot of people don't know. It's the world's single drop natural waterfall, the Kaitor Falls.
What?
Single drop. Natural.
Not multiple stages. Just
Not multiple.
Straight down.
One of the largest.
That is crazy. That is
Go see the Emmer Harbor Bridge.
Yeah.
Go see that waterfall.
Yeah.
And stay for the Mash Ramani.
There you go. Yeah.
You ain't too focused on the food.
This is what we doing. This the trip right
What
here.
we doing?
This
Is that
the
what we
trip.
doing?
Forget Vegas. I know I said Vegas earlier.
Yeah, we've been talking.
We
about
going to
Vegas earlier.
Georgetown.
Yeah, we going to Georgetown.
Yes, we going. We going.
Yeah, you gonna see these three fools pull up, man?
You know what, Tavel, you might be able to go with us.
Yeah,
you know what?
thank
We'll let you
I
go with
appreciate
us.
it. I was real quiet, hoping y'all would invite me.
Yeah, well, I guess you could go
You know
too.
when you get quiet in the room, just hoping somebody knows.
Exactly.
Fine, we'll take them.
Yeah, what the heck? What the
We
heck?
might know a little something about best places to eat and whatnot. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You came in and you gave us.
Yeah, we appreciate you, brother. This was great.
That was
Yeah.
fire. That was fire. Appreciate you coming through, my man.
Thank you, man. Happy to be here.
And much success to you. Okay, real quick. So we're getting ready to take a little break, but. If you're on Instagram, if you have your phone, if you're not driving, please do not drive and do this at the same time. Emmer, EMMER, and the word and, AND, Rye, RYE, on Instagram. Look for it, all right? And thank you, Mr. Joseph. We certainly appreciate and much success to you.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Come back through and bring some food if you don't mind.
Next
Or
time.
we'll come to you.
Or we'll come to you.
Pick
Yeah,
a
be like-
restaurant. We're going to do it on site.
yeah.
There
You
you
gonna,
go.
He gonna be like, we got a breakfast spot now. I'm like, man.
yeah, exactly.